When we enter into meditation, we become aware of a greater range of consciousness, but most of the time we simply lose consciousness of whatever form we have in the body. Okay? Because our range of consciousness is elevated, so we can become aware of greater things. Our range of consciousness goes way beyond our mind, so when we come back from meditation, we simply don't remember. Because you see, between the normal awareness and the meditative awareness, which is called samadhi in Sanskrit, there's a little gap. You can see a little gap here, okay? And as we practice meditation, we get into a state of samadhi, of transcendental consciousness, but still we remain aware of part of the material world, because complete samadhi, samyak samadhi, complete samadhi is a state of consciousness where we simply expand instead of simply elevate. Okay, so expanding the consciousness is the goal here. There are many ways to call this phenomena, and this little presentation is the range that we wish to eventually attain everyone, which is complete absolute mind, which is awareness of the entire scale of existence at every level. This is the first step, learning how to get to samadhi, then complete samadhi, and then absolute mind, and so complete samadhi mind. This is the presentation of how we are made, and how we suggest that we should open our minds to every level, every science, every philosophy, every presentation, every way of classifying the spirituality, because every way of classifying the spirituality is perfect in itself, and it's a system that we humans made, but nature is a scale of absolute possibilities. We have seen in different movies and documentaries that we do influence our environment. And we influence our environment in some weird, precious way, a secret way that was revealed, of course. I'm referring to the movie The Secret. There's also What the Bleep. We can see a lot of scientists there exposing their findings and their beliefs on how we influence the world. So we made a little essay in Quantum Buddhism, amongst the Quantum Buddhism Association, simply put ourselves in meditation and asking, how can we, how could we scientifically express this phenomena? And the information came progressively. So what you see now is the little letter C, which will mean the scale of consciousness. Okay? This diagram came first in our minds, and well, I wasn't alone, but anyway, I'll speak of my experience. What? I said, what is this? And consciousness was all self-included in this little diagram, and it's slowly split up and became the different ideas that it represented. And of course, these variables are all identified with labels. So, big I, big D is equal to little I, little e. Okay. So the influence threshold, or the influence on dimension, space-time dimension, is equal to the range of our consciousness multiplied by the integrity of our consciousness. Okay. Big I is a threshold that when a critical mass of influence reaches the value of big I, it does collapse on the space-time dimension that is influenced. If big I, big D is equal to little I, little e, it also means in algebra that big I is equal to Ci spread over or divided by big D. Okay, so the influence threshold that we build a critical mass of influence over the universe, and when it reaches Ci on D, it collapses, it becomes truth, it manifests, and sometimes it takes a lot of time to accumulate this critical mass of influence. Okay, for this mass of influence to gather. So let's just resume the little thing here. What is exactly the conscious range? Well, it's our ability to expand our awareness of higher level of thinking, of thoughts, aware of the physical body, the sensations, the emotions, the feelings, the thoughts, the subtle thoughts, the non-thoughts, the unworded thought process, the unworded non-thought processes of the soul, and the consciousness simply existing as is, and the self, the absolute self, who is immutable, invulnerable, eternal, indestructible, forever. What is the integrity? What do we mean by integrity? Okay, integrity is non-judgment. Integrity is, I'm in a lab. I would like to observe an atom without influencing it at all. Of course, the moment I influence it, it will have chosen a position, because even if I don't influence an atom by looking at it, nature did its work. Okay? So when nature does its work, without our influence, there are natural laws that operate. But when we use our influence, when we focus on nature, it does create an influence on the way nature works. Okay, and what is integrity is, I would like to look at a phenomena and not influence it, to really look at it without transforming the results at all. Then I'm out of the lab, I come back home, and I look at my wife and I say, where's dinner? We were expecting something. Okay, and then I'm having a chat with my son. He wants to be a rock star. I want him to be a lawyer, and I'm unhappy with his choices. Okay, and then we go to bed, then more expectations there, more judgments if expectations don't come, expectations about what we should be doing. So, okay, we get back to the lab and we wish not to be influencing something as subtle as an atom? Of course not. We can't. Not while we do not have consciousness integrity. The integrity is non-attachment, non-judgment, full responsibility of self in the state of faith. Faith not in some exterior force, but faith in the highest state of consciousness that we are. Faith knowing that everything unfolds because I have been letting nature do whatever it wants with me, or everything unfolds because I have taken charge. And then taking charge in a responsible way, knowing that I will receive from the universe whatever I put into it, and if I think that everything is going wrong, maybe I simply was not taking care of how to make it right. So I'm responsible for making my life how I want it. If I only wait for nature to unfold, nature will send me whatever happens. Okay? So integrity is a state of faith, responsibly handling the harmony of our lives, powerfully creating in a focused way, and observing the world in compassion. Compassion is there is no good, there is no evil, there is no pain, no pleasure, there is experience. And from this state of compassion, great love for whatever happens, we can perceive the world in harmony, in peace, and create from our mind to project in nature what we want. And obviously, according to this formula, if little c becomes 1 and little I becomes 1, and big I is 1 and big D is 1, we're God. This is the absolute. So let's deal in fractions from now on. This was a presentation of our basic idea of how do we influence the universe and what goes on. What's the thing between consciousness and the quantum world? What does manifest? What does create? What does organize life? And in the book we'll have a lot of techniques, teachings on how to expand ourselves. And hopefully within the next few weeks, months, we'll be done with the book. Namaste.